Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is your weekly tarot forecast. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment on this video, especially if this reading resonates with you. I would love to hear from you. Also go check out the other videos that may pertain to you for your sun, moon, or rising signs, because I think that will give you a much more dynamic picture of what's going on with you, especially in this month and in these weeks to come. So let's just get right into it and see what we can get for Virgo here. We've got the Moon card to start us out. This is going to be interesting, I'm sure of it. We're going to lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread, and as you know, that includes a bonus card, a confirmation card, a mystery card, and we're going to leave that right over here. We're not going to look at that until the very end, and we're going to see if that might tie this reading together or give us that confirmation that we are looking for. Okay, so we start out with the Moon card and the Ace of Wands. So I really think that this week is about you making the effort, taking the first steps, really tapping into that creative, imaginative, that really like internal world that you have access to, really tapping into that and creating something wonderful with that, like really tapping into your imagination and that creative source that you have. And all of these, like with the Moon card, I think that you're full of these just wonderful ideas and images and sounds and just the sense impressions and all of these things that are contained within you, like in your inner world. I think that you really need to take hold of all of those, or one of those, or several of those, and use it as the inspiration for action, for new creative adventures or endeavors, for new opportunities, and a new manifestation of something wonderful that comes from deep within you, right? And related to that, what I'm kind of looking at here are all these discs. We have so much earth, so many discs or coins or pentacles, whatever you call them. We have a lot of those here. And, you know, I'm looking to see where we should even start. I think we're going to go straight to the Four of Wands here. And this is kind of in the immediate future. I see that you're taking this creative insight, impulse, this stuff, these impressions, these ideas, these creative energies that are within you, and you're putting them into an actual physical manifestation. You're giving them a physical form. And with the Four of Wands, it's the ending of an old cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, right? So I think that while something in the past is wrapping itself up, you're finding some closure or some resolution with something that's happened in the past, the future, as represented by this card, is focused on the beginning of those new stages, that new cycle for you. And with all of these discs here, I really think that it has something to do with like either your health or your wealth, your fitness or your finances, or both. And I think you're really on the cusp of a brand new adventure, a new cycle, a new stage or phase, or just a completely new like area for you to manifest all of this wonderful creativity and these ideas and this passion and enthusiasm and these creative ideas that you have are really, I think, really spiritual and valuable to you. I think they're a real source of energy for you as well. And I think this week is really about putting all of that into physical form, getting started on the physical work of that, right? With this, again, the Four of Wands is about the beginning of the new cycle. And so we have to kind of look at what that's going to look like for you. I think what you want it to look like ultimately is wonderful wealth and success, and you want to be able to take all of this energy, this creativity, these ideas, these impressions, these, you know, dreams and fantasies, and all of this creative energy that you have in your inner world. You want to be able to manifest that in the outer world, in the physical plane, in such a way that it is just abundant and beautiful and of great wealth and value. Now, this is not just physical value, money, you know, financial wealth, although it is that as well. Okay, so this card definitely means you want to make some money from this. But it's also saying that you want to create something that has meaning for you, that is some way of physical expression of your more spiritual feelings and ideas and energies, right? And so I think that is in a large part indicated by this Ace of Wands that we saw, which is like really taking hold of one of those ideas and using it as that source of power and energy to get moving. And then with that Four of Wands, this is putting that into practice, beginning that new cycle, that new phase, that new work. Because this card is in the future position. So it's, some old things have been closed off, something has ended, sure. And now is the time to focus on starting that new thing, starting the new cycle, right? And it's based on this creativity, this passion, this enthusiasm, and this real love, this real spiritual fire that you have within you that you want to express. And again, I think that your highest ideal is to have it make the money, right? But then also to have such a tangible value to you. It's a physical thing that you can look at and behold that is like a reflection of that spiritual aspect of yourself, but it's in the physical realm. And so it has that kind of magical link to it, and it's very, very valuable to you. And at the same time, maybe earn some money. So it's the same, it's twofold, really. I think the underlying kind of influence here, more earth, more discs, coins, or pentacles, and this is the Six of Discs. And I think really what this one is saying, because if you notice, all of these discs have the symbols for the planets on them. So what this is really saying to me is that kind of surrounding this entire situation, surrounding you, kind of in your orbit, if you're the central sun, the central fire, surrounding you are all these other planetary energies. And each one kind of indicates a different skill or talent or mindset or discipline or energy that you have around you. So it really is about this harmonious usage of all of your energies and talents, and really, really pulling everything that you have, everything that you're capable of, all of your skills and all of your energies, all of your abilities and powers, and putting them all to use in the appropriate manner, right? So Mars is just that vital will and energy and strength, and just, the ability to get up and do it even when you feel exhausted. And that ability to just crush the barriers and be fearless, and that sort of thing. And Saturn might be your ability to have the discipline and the structure and the focus. And and then the Jupiter also has its own qualities, and the Mercury has its own qualities. I'm not going to go into every single one, but because I think you know that already, or that information is easily found out. I'm not going to waste the time here, giving that sort of instruction, because that's not what this video is about. I think you get the idea that all of your forces, all of your powers, all of the planets that are orbiting you are going to come together and assist you in this work. And you have to take each one of those planets, each one of these kind of orbiting discs, and put them all into their proper place and their proper proportion, and utilize them in order to get the rest of this stuff done. Now, as the recent past, we see the Strength or Lust card, and this is the second of the two major arcana cards. The first one that we had is the Moon card, which represents your kind of inner world, your intuitive, world of imagination and dream and spiritual, impressions. And the Lust card then is just your passion and your strength and your ability to control all of this. So this is something where, it would be quite easy to have all of these elements in place, to have, all of your planetary energy, let's call them, and to have all of this creative ability, all of these ideas and this passion and this enthusiasm and this ability to take hold of your spiritual will and to grasp these ideas that you have and these creative energies. But it's nothing if you can't put all of this into practice, if you can't harness that energy and control it. And I think in this case, the Strength or Lust card is really about having that magical power, that ability to control and direct all of this energy that you have, this really fiery, spiritual, determined, and just wildly creative and passionate energy. It really needs to be tamed and channeled and controlled and put to the correct application. Okay, so this card being in the past is just saying that this is kind of a prerequisite. It's not saying that this happened in your past. This is saying kind of what needs to happen in order for all of this stuff to really take shape and take form, literally and figuratively. You really need to have that control over your magical powers, your abilities, your attention, your focus and your energy in general, okay? Now, don't forget to hit that like button, and please subscribe to this channel, especially if this reading is resonating with you. Moving on to the path of the serpent, we have the Eight of Discs. Okay, more earth energy. This one's a little bit slower, a little bit more meticulous. I think this is how you handle yourself. This is how you kind of express yourself. This is like the vibe or the energy that you have. And it's one of caution, doing things slowly, doing things with a lot of insight, a lot of forethought, a lot of attention to detail. I don't see you as someone who is really rushing into everything and just trying to do a million things at once, in one day. I think you like to take things slow. You like to do things right. You like to focus on one element at a time, one stage, one step at a time. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting from you. That's the vibe that I think you're giving off today. And in this situation too, it's just that not getting overly enthusiastic or kind of overzealous about it. You're still taking your time. You're going to be meticulous. You want it done right. There's no rush. There's no time constraint. It's just about doing things the proper way in the proper order. Okay. In terms of your relationships with other people, I think that is still a factor for you, and something that might be not inhibiting this energy flow this week, but something that's just kind of taking a little bit of your attention, is this Ten of Swords. And this is kind of like a failure of communication. This is something where maybe your ideas are just not getting through to your person or your group of people, your family, friends, loved ones. It's just like that fear that you're going to be misunderstood, that fear that people aren't going to get it, the fear that your person is just not going to understand, and there's going to be just a complete breakdown of the communication between the two of you. If you start with all of this kind of energy work and this flow and this creative work, this manifesting, what kind of a strain is it going to put on your relationship? Is it going to cause this breakdown of communication with you and your person? I think that's the fear here. That's the part of the worry here. A more generalized worry is the Seven of Discs. Again, more discs, earth, pentacles, coins, whatever. And this one is really the fear of, well, what if I do all of this, but I'm not able to manifest this? I'm not able to create this. Or what I create in the physical world is just a lump. Like, it's not worth anything. It just doesn't, the way you envision it, the way you intend for this all to happen. What if you fail? What if it comes out and it doesn't look right? So I think that's a very kind of common concern in a situation like this. I think it's very natural to be afraid of, like, well, what if I'm not able to succeed? What if I'm not good enough? What if it doesn't manifest the way I intend for it to? And so I think the solution to that really is indicated by this Eight of Swords. And this is just saying to stop all of that negative self-talk. Stop getting in your own way. Stop convincing yourself that you can't do it. Stop worrying. Stop overthinking. Stop thinking at all. Just act. Just harness that fire, that spiritual energy, and start doing this. Of course, I'm exaggerating a little bit, because thought and planning and analysis and all of that is good, and the communication is good, and kind of ruminating and contemplating is all productive things. But this card's the overthinking. This is the rehashing something a million times before ever taking any action. It's running through the scenarios a million times before ever attempting one in the outer world. Okay, and this is just the negative self-talk that says, oh, I can't do it, I'm not creative enough, I don't have the time, I don't have the ability, I'm not that creative, this wouldn't look right, this wouldn't be right, it wouldn't work, it wouldn't be successful, blah, 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 blah. We all do it. And so this card is really saying that the way to alleviate these fears that we saw with the Seven of Discs and the Ten of Swords here is to just stop that negative self. Just stop the overthinking, or put it in check. When you notice that it's happening, go do something physical. Go do something that is utilizing one of the other planetary energies that we have. Go for a jog, or go do something else physical. or do something that engages your emotions or your sense of humor or anything like that. Just get out of that cycle of that repetitive thinking, that negative thinking or that overthinking, overanalyzing. All right. Virgo, we're going to take a look now at this mystery card, our bonus or confirmation card, and see what this might reveal. Wow, this is the Ace of Cups. This is just complete satisfaction. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of complete satisfaction, complete trust and loyalty and fulfillment and beauty and love and joy and all of these really, really great feeling energies. Okay, so I think that this is really going to be key to all of this work that we're talking about, is really finding that emotional connection to this thing. And by stopping the overthinking and the overanalyzing, by stopping, the kind of the worry, by getting all of your planets in alignment, and by harnessing your magical abilities, your magical power, your force, and all of your fire and energy, I think applying that to something that you're deeply in love with, it's going to, not only be crazy successful, but it's also going to be reinforcing that sense of being in love, right? With whatever it is that you're doing, or just with life, with your person, with everything, with yourself. It's the renewal of that love and trust and just absolute beauty and joy and fulfillment and success. All of those wonderful, just good and joyous and really feel good feelings and that energy. And I think that is a really good confirmation to say that, hey, this is really something that you should think about, at least consider what I've been saying here today, and see how it might resonate with you. And definitely leave me some comments and let me know how you're doing. Virgo, this was your weekly tarot forecast on Dove and Serpent Tarot. There is an extended. You can become a member to check that out. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today.